Picture the scene. It's Monday Night Raw, sometime in the near future, the final segment of the night. A triumphant Rhea Ripley, having clawed her way back to the top, stands as the reigning Women's World Champion. She just put away another top-tier challenger, and her music fades as the crowd celebrates what feels like the unstoppable second reign of Mommy. The show feels like it's about to end. But then, silence. A strange quiet falls over the arena, cut by a sound nobody recognizes. A new theme song hits. It's not Liv Morgan. It's not a returning Becky Lynch. It's nobody on the roster. What if, in that single moment, the entire WWE Women's division was turned on its head? What if the daughter of a legendary action star didn't just show up, but took over? This isn't a recap. This is a look into one of the most interesting what-ifs in wrestling today, a fantasy scenario that keeps popping up online because it feels just real enough to be exciting. How could Arissa LeBrock, a name known more for her Hollywood family than her wrestling, hypothetically walk into WWE and do the unthinkable? Let's break it down. For a while now, the internet has whispered about Arissa LeBrock. There have been posts about secret debuts and wild theories. But today, we're pushing past the rumors to build the most realistic, game-changing scenario possible. We're going to explore how a debut this huge could happen, why it would be so effective, and the shockwave it would leave behind. This is the story of a moment that could redefine what dominance means in WWE. To get the full impact, you first have to understand the mountain. The target here isn't just any champion. It's a future version of Rhea Ripley who has reclaimed her spot as the apex predator of the division. She is Mommy. She is the Eradicator. And on the other side, you have the biggest unknown imaginable. Arissa LeBrock, daughter of Hollywood's most notorious tough guy, Steven Seagal, and supermodel Kelly LeBrock. She has a name that gets attention, but also brings a ton of skepticism. This isn't just about a new challenger, it's a clash of worlds. It's the established powerhouse style of WWE running into a disciplined, mysterious martial arts background that has never been seen before in a WWE ring. It's a story about whether a legacy is something you're given or something you take by force. To really appreciate how big of an upset this would be, you have to respect Rhea Ripley's dominance. Her journey in WWE wasn't just a rise to the top, it was a total conquest. From the moment she showed up in the Mae Young Classic, you could tell she was different. She wasn't just another wrestler, she was a genuine force of nature. Just think about her resume. She was the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. She then came to NXT in the US and ended the seemingly unstoppable championship run of Shayna Baszler, a woman whose own MMA background made her a monster. Rhea didn't just beat her, she went toe-to-toe and overpowered her. Then she hit the main roster, and it was more of the same. A Raw Women's Championship, a Royal Rumble win from the #1 spot in 2023, a massive feat of endurance and power. And of course, a historic WrestleMania main event where she beat Charlotte Flair to become SmackDown Women's Champion, a title she made even more prestigious as the Women's World Champion. Her reigns are defined by her seeming invincibility. She doesn't just win, she dismantles opponents, often with a smirk. Her power is her greatest weapon. The Riptide finisher can end any match in a heartbeat, no matter who is standing across the ring from her. But it's more than just her power. It's the mind games. The swagger she has, the way she holds the crowd in the palm of her hand, has made her one of the most feared and popular stars in the whole company. She is the final boss of the women's division. She's beaten legends and rising stars alike. Any challenge to Rhea isn't just for a title, it's a challenge to an entire era of supremacy. She's the perfect titan to make our fantasy scenario not just shocking, but legendary. So who is Arissa LeBrock, and why is she the perfect person to hypothetically rock the foundation of the women's division? For starters, her whole life has been a balancing act between celebrity and combat. On one side, she's the daughter of Kelly LeBrock, an 80s-style icon. Arissa followed that path for a bit, building a successful career as a plus-size model and appearing on the reality show Growing Up Supermodel. She gets the spotlight and the performance side of things. But then there's the other side. She's Steven Seagal's daughter. While his public image is complicated, his movies are built on brutal, effective Aikido. That martial arts discipline was reportedly part of Arissa's life from a young age. She didn't just play around. She took it seriously, training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a style that's all about leverage and submissions, not just pure strength. This isn't a model trying out wrestling. It's a legitimate martial artist applying her skills to a new sport. Her road to the ring wasn't easy, which makes her story even more compelling. In 2019, she landed a WWE tryout at the Performance Center. This was her chance to prove she was more than a famous last name. However, the story that has circulated online for years is that a serious injury put her journey on hold right after. It was a huge setback that could have ended her dream before it started. For years, she fell off the wrestling radar, but she didn't quit. Her comeback kicked off when she got a call from the one and only Dustin Rhodes, who invited her to his wrestling school in Texas. This wasn't some celebrity training camp. It was a place to grind, rebuild, and learn the craft from the ground up. Dustin Rhodes has praised her work ethic, saying she was getting all her ducks in a row and that it was only the beginning for her. Under his guidance, she didn't just get back on her feet, she got better. In March 2023, Arissa LeBrock finally had her official in-ring debut at a student showcase for the Academy. It wasn't a huge stage, but it was the first step. Reports from that debut described her as having raw power and skill, proving she was a serious contender. She overcame injury, put in the work, and earned her place. That real-life story of struggle is the perfect fuel for an unforgettable debut. Now, let's go back to our future Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley is in the ring holding her championship high. She just won a tough match and grabs a mic, her voice dripping with that familiar mommy confidence. "I've beaten everyone," she says. "There's no one left in that locker room who can even stand up to me, so you know what? I'm issuing an open challenge to anyone who thinks they have what it takes to even look mommy in the eye." She waits. The crowd expects a familiar face, a returning star, an NXT call-up. Instead, the lights dim and a methodical, almost unnerving theme starts to play. It's not loud rock or pop music. It's rhythmic, intense, and totally unfamiliar. On the big screen, a single name appears in clean white letters. Arissa LeBrock. The commentators are scrambling. "Who is that? Do we know who that is?" one asks. The other, having done his research, would connect the dots. "Wait a minute. That's Arissa LeBrock. That's Steven Seagal's daughter. What is she doing here?" She walks out from the back with a quiet, focused intensity. She moves with the calm, deliberate energy of a predator. She's not playing to the fans. She's locked in on the champion. As she gets in the ring, you notice a difference in their presence. Rhea is a powerhouse of muscle and height. Arissa is tall and strong too, but she carries herself differently, with a grounded, centered posture that screams martial artist. The bell rings and the style clash is immediate. Rhea, predictably, rushes in with her brawling powerhouse offense. She tries to corner Arissa, to overwhelm her with strength, but Arissa doesn't meet force with force. She evades, she parries, she uses Rhea's own momentum against her. When Rhea throws a heavy punch, Arissa doesn't block it. She redirects it with a subtle movement that throws Rhea off balance. When Rhea charges for a tackle, Arissa sidesteps and hits a leg sweep that sends the champ stumbling. The crowd goes from confused to intrigued to absolutely electric. They're seeing a style of self-defense they've never seen in WWE. It's not high-flying or technical wrestling, it's a human chess match. Rhea is getting visibly frustrated. Her biggest weapon, her raw power, is being completely neutralized. The match wouldn't be long. A debut like this is all about shock and awe. It's about establishing instant credibility. Rhea, getting angrier by the second, finally gets her hands on Arissa and lifts her for the riptide. This is it. The crowd knows this is the end. But as Rhea lifts her, Arissa doesn't panic. Instead, she subtly shifts her weight and locks her hands around Rhea's head and neck in a grip no one has ever seen before. This is the moment that would make the internet explode. As Rhea drives her down for the slam, Arissa uses that momentum to transition into a submission. But it's not a standard crossface or an arm bar. It's something different, rooted in her martial arts training. Imagine a standing guillotine choke, but with a twist. While applying pressure to the neck, Arissa uses her other hand to target a pressure point on Rhea's shoulder, a technique pulled straight from traditional martial arts. The commentators would be losing their minds. "What is that hold? I've never seen anything like it! Rhea is in serious trouble!" The effect is instant and devastating. Rhea Ripley, the unbreakable champion who has fought through incredible pain, suddenly has a look of pure shock and agony. Her power is useless. She can't slam her way out because the pressure on her neck and the nerve is too much. Her body goes stiff. She can't even try to get to the ropes. It's checkmate. For a split second, her champion's pride makes her refuse to give in. But the hold is too precise. Her legs buckle. She can't breathe. Her strength is just gone. With no other choice, in a move that would stun the entire WWE Universe, Rhea Ripley furiously taps out on Arissa's arm. She submits. Not after a 20-minute war, but in seconds, caught completely off guard. The bell rings. The ref, looking just as shocked as everyone else, raises Arissa LeBrock's hand. Her theme hits again, but she doesn't celebrate. She just releases the hold, letting the former champion collapse. She stands over Rhea, her expression unchanged, cold, calm, and professional. She just did the impossible. She debuted on Raw and submitted one of the most dominant champions in history in under 5 minutes. This finish does two things perfectly. It protects Rhea, who wasn't beaten down but was caught by a specialized move she'd never seen. And it instantly makes Arissa LeBrock the most dangerous threat in the entire division. The fallout from this finish would be incredible. The live crowd would be a mix of stunned silence and wild applause for what they just saw. The camera would pan across faces in the front row, jaws on the floor, eyes wide. Backstage, we'd see other superstars watching on monitors, their faces a mix of fear and professional curiosity. Rhea Ripley, for the first time in a long, long time, would look vulnerable. Not just beaten, but confused. She'd sit up, clutching her neck, looking at this newcomer not just with anger, but with the chilling realization that the game has completely changed. She was outsmarted by a style she didn't understand. This immediately sets up an epic rematch, one where Rhea has to go back to the drawing board. The commentary team would be left trying to figure it all out, asking the questions every fan would be screaming. What does this mean for the Women's World Championship? Did Arissa just become the #1 contender on her first night? More than that, is she the next Brock Lesnar? A special attraction with a fighting style that nobody can counter? The speculation would be everywhere. Who could possibly stop her? If Rhea Ripley's power didn't work, what chance does anyone else have? Could we see a dream match against someone with a similar background like Shayna Baszler? The debut also opens up the wild possibility of her father, Steven Seagal, making an appearance, maybe as a mentor, adding another layer of Hollywood weirdness to the story. One thing would be certain. Arissa LeBrock wouldn't just be another rookie. She would be a puzzle the entire roster would have to race to solve. While this is all just a fun what if, the most exciting part is that the ingredients are real. Arissa LeBrock has a unique mix of a famous martial arts family, a real athletic background, and a comeback story that she fought through herself. She has the training from a respected legend in Dustin Rhodes and a name that gets instant attention. The story we've laid out here, a shocking debut, a clash of styles, and a quick submission over a dominant champion, is the kind of moment WWE is built on. It's a story that respects the established champion while creating a new star in a single night. Whether or not Arissa LeBrock ever actually steps into a WWE ring to face Rhea Ripley, the idea alone has captured the imagination of wrestling fans. It proves there are still new stories to tell and new styles to see. A new kind of threat could be on the horizon, and the question is no longer if someone like her could change the game, but when. What do you think? Could Arissa LeBrock really pull off a debut like this? And if she did, who would you want to see her face first? Drop your fantasy bookings and dream matches in the comments below.